Grix has definitely run back into the river's edge, and he's gonna fire up the engines.
Is there any way I can get on board, or is it too late to take after? I don't have any kind of force speed abilities, but I can run.
I mean, you can run, but you're within long range of it.
So yeah, we should get on the ship then.
So it would take a little bit to get there. You're closer to your ship than you are her ship. So
let's get on the river's edge, I think.
Okay. So you quickly board the river's edge?
As we're heading back, I think Lord is going to have some kind of hunch that there was maybe some suspicious powers being used there, and he's going to kind of take a look around to see if we're being watched or kind of how busy the area is.
Sure. Give me a perception or vigilance check, your choice.
And what's the difficulty?
Average, but you can throw in a red dice in there.
All right, so there's 1 success and 2 advantage.
Okay. Well, your advantages are that the area that you're in, it's controlled by Geeta the Hutt. Anyone that would be watching you likely works for her. You do not believe there is anyone watching you, so you think you're safe. However, the powers that you just witnessed were definitely suspicious. Something very abnormal going on.
All right. And then Laird hustles back to the river's edge.
Okay. The river's edge starts taking off from the ground, and Berkin has steadied himself, and we see the loading ramp closing as Berkin is walking inside of the ship.
I don't think that was expected, or that wasn't part of the plan.
And you follow the ruined monk?
Yes.
Well, we have to save Berkin.
Yep.
That's fair. Okay, let's get a piloting check from you, Grix, to see how well you can keep up with Nephrim.
Gladly.
Probably not too difficult. Just an average difficulty.
1 success.
So you succeed. So you are able to keep up with her, and she is flying out of atmosphere.
Was she super good?
I mean, flying out of atmosphere isn't too difficult.
Was she speeding out through like Nar Shaddaa with tons of things flying around?
Yes, but her ship is also faster than you would have expected.
I think Grix is going to pipe up. He's like, all right, we should probably hail them.
Hail them? Just shoot her.
Do we need to dump stuff off here to go faster? I can throw stuff out.
We can go fast enough. Tally, give me all energy. We don't need anything else. Forward everything into the main engines.
Yes, Captain?
This box looks kind of heavy.
I'm going to try to man the weapons console and target the engines.
You can definitely try to man the weapons.
I'll open a channel, a hailing frequency direct to the Ruined Monk. And Ruined Monk, this is the river's edge. You've got our friend on board. Where are you going so fast? Come back to me.
I'm sorry, hello? Is anyone there?
This is Grix on the river's edge. You've got our friend Berkin on board your ship. Where are you going with him?
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Oh, I've heard this one before. You can hear me in there. I think if that's going from what Nephrim said, I'm going to switch comm channels to Berkin's comm channel. Hopefully he's got a comm link on him. I'm like, hey, Berkin, you read me? It's Grix.
I don't know what the situation is yet, so I don't know if I should be answering.
So Berkin, you've basically been trying to hold on to whatever you can while the ship leaves atmosphere. You can feel the artificial gravity kick in, but you are still being silently detained by these super battle droids. After you leave the atmosphere of the moon, Nephrim comes walking into the cargo hold. She has since put the autopilot on, and after the attempted communication by Grix, and you get that call on your communicator. She says, please, by all means, answer it.
How is she presenting herself right now?
Very casually.
And what are the super battle droids? Like, what are they doing right now?
The opposite of casual.
Okay. I reach down to my comm link and I flip the switch to off.
You would prefer not to speak with your friends?
I think I'd rather talk to you for a little bit right now.
Well, maybe you should let your friends know that if they open fire, that your life will be over. Perhaps you should calm them back and let them know. I would hate for anything to happen to you.
The odds of them firing on the ship while I'm here are slim to none. They would never do such a thing as that.
Cut to KO. What are you doing,
Have you
KO?
figured to shoot those yet?
Locking on to their engines now.
Good stuff. All right, you want to give me an attack roll there?
Absolutely. I think I have a fair chance of hitting the engines.
Okay, so your silhouette is one smaller than what you're shooting at, and you're traveling at the same speed. So yeah, you are within close range. It's going to be an average difficulty, so your laser cannons do reach.
Using a light side point to upgrade one of my die.
Okay, just 2 purple.
I rolled 3 successes and 1 threat.
3 success and a threat. So you are going to hit.
So hopefully I targeted the engines as I tried, and hopefully she doesn't kill Berkin as a result of this.
It's optimistic. So what is your damage?
The river's
5.
edge is 5.
5 plus your successes.
Presumably, so that would be 8 then.
8 points of damage. Her ship has an armor of 3, so she soaks 3.
And I disabled their engines and gave Berkin an opportunity to subdue the girl.
Unfortunately, you didn't quite nail that critical hit that you would have needed in order to do so. However, you have done damage to the hull. A little bit of damage to the hull anyway.
Yeah, it looks fun. Can I give it a shot?
So the cannon fire hits the side of the ruined monk. The ship kind of shakes as it penetrates through the shields, and Nephrim looks very unsurprised and says, "So you were saying?"
I immediately fumble my comm link up. I turn it back on.
Berkin, you hear me? Berkin, are you there? You guys okay?
Yes, we're fine. Who shot at the ship that I'm currently in?
Oh, don't worry about that, but we got to touch down and get you out of there.
I don't think that's the plan right now. I'm trying to see if I can, talk to her for a minute. One-on-one. Also, there's some battle droids here. I don't think I should stay in channel for very long.
All right, well, we're following you until you give us a vector, man.
Well, I'm going to keep the channel open at the very least. So far, everything's just fine. Everything's fine here. How are you?
Well, you better hurry up because these guys might shoot on you again if it looks like you're going to jump to hyperspace.
I look over at Nephrim. I don't think that we're going to be going into hyperspace very soon. She's in the cargo bay with me right now. We're just going to have a little chat. Everything will be fine. So, slow down a little bit and just wait until my next comm. Everything will be fine.
Copy that. Keep it quick and concise there. Grix out. With that, we'll slow down and just tail them from a safer, less aggressive distance.
Sure.
Did that sound like Berkin to anybody? Like really sound like Berkin? Perhaps we should resume firing.
Let's just give him a moment. Let's just have a conversation over there. We'll stay tight.
Also, this Nephrim's no good, right? I've been looking for someone that's a definitely bad person that I can bounty hunt.
She's a bad person.
You guys are bounty hunters?
Yeah, I was bounty hunting for Geeta for a bit there, and still doing a bit of work for her, but...
So who's your target right now? What's our objective?
Right now, our objective is to rescue Berkin Druuk, and Nephrim is our target.
Tally, are you all right with this? We're now bounty hunters. We're going to be outlaws in this galaxy if we go ahead any further.
I mean, that would largely be your call, Captain. However, I do not see an immediate way out of this situation.
All right, Lurd, be straight with me. What's the take on this job?
Knowing you've done the right thing, I guess.
We'll be removing a dangerous person from the streets of Nal Hutta. The satisfaction alone should be enough payment for you.
All right, I shake my head, and I'm like, I don't know about this.
No one rides for free. We have bills to pay.
You're right about that, Tally. All right, we're doing it. We got to give him a couple more seconds, and then we're going to take this ship down. What do you say, guys?
At the very least, Since we rescued you, we owe it to Berkin to rescue him.
We should not blow up the ship while Berkin is on it. I don't know Berkin very well, but I imagine you guys wouldn't want to see his smoldery remains.
No, KO has a point. It's a favor for favor. They sprung us, Tally. You helped there. We got to help them out now. We got to take down this Nephrim and get Berkin back.
Not exactly in that order.
That's perfectly fine, but this ride isn't free is all I'm saying. So cutting back over to Berkin there and Nephrim, let me get this straight. You had the opportunity to leave and walk away, and you decided to come aboard? Is that what you're saying?
I think that can be taken as affirmative. Here I am. And if you don't mind, can you tell your droids to stand down? I'm not planning on hurting you or anything.
Honey, you couldn't hurt me if you tried. Why are you on board this ship?
Well, I owe it to a friend to ensure his safety. And the way things happened down there on the ground, it led me to believe that perhaps you don't have his best interests at heart. So I wanted to come up here with you to sit down and talk to you and just see if we can come up with some sort of arrangement.
Well, we both have things to hide very clearly.
Yes, I don't hold it against you that you've got force powers. Clearly, I do as well. Once we get some of this other business out of the way, then perhaps we can actually talk about that. How are you surviving out here?
Listen, it's none of your business how I'm surviving out here. What is my business, though, is how you invite me to come and fix your droid. Turns out the droid is in a different warehouse. And then when we do meet, there's no droid. And you run around my questions and you're not upfront with me. And then you have a force-sensitive droid in your care. And you yourself are force-sensitive. Who is it that should be afraid here? The person that was responding to a job, or you and your droid friend?
I am going to walk forward and I am going to tentatively reach out and push one of the droid arm cannons away from me so I can kind of get beyond them. Very friendly, I'm not being fast or anything, just very slowly. I still kind of have my hands up in front of me.
Well, the battle droids readjust their formation and keep their arm cannons trained on you.
Is there a place to sit?
Yeah, there's some stools and whatnot in this little workshop area that you could sit on.
A stool, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, forget that. So yeah, no, I walk up a little bit closer to her and I say,
"So particular about your seating, huh?"
I'm very particular about my seating.
Fucking stool, I'm not sitting on that.
If there is there a table?
There's workbenches, yeah.
Moving on, very particular. Yeah, so I'll stand there in front of her and Nephrim, okay, first of all, you need to understand something. We are not your enemy. At least I'm hoping that we are not your enemy.
Okay, perfect. Then how about you be honest with me for once and tell me why you even contacted me in the first place?
It's complicated and I owe it to some people that I protect. You know what? Forget about it. Here's the situation at hand, all right? We are looking for information and the party that hired us told us that they would give us the information so long as we tracked you down. Now, you seem like a completely personable person. You seem down to earth, you got force powers, and you have an affinity for droids. So I'm hoping that makes you a good person. I don't know Boogaroo from anyone. He was just a contact. I don't know you either. So why don't you and I just take a moment to kind of step back and let's just start this again. All right, my name is Berkin Druuk.
Okay, is this where Berkin actually joins forces with Nephrim?
No.
Concerned where your loyalties lie at this point.
The fact of the matter at hand, Nephrim, is that I am concerned that your affinity with droids goes only so far as they can be reprogrammed. Now, I realize that you and Boogaroo don't exactly see eye to eye with how droids are supposed to operate, but take it from me, KO is a good droid. He does not require mind wiping. There's nothing wrong with him. He is a unique entity.
Great.
The way that you took off implied that you were going to do one of the worst things that you could do for him, and that would be reporting him into Imperial forces. And I could not have that happen.
The way I took off was because I was being conned. You led me along to believe one thing, and then the Imperial security droid attempted to choke me. What would you do? Would you let yourself be choked?
Well, you see, that's just a little bit of a touchy situation back there, actually. So, as you can tell, we may not have approached the situation entirely as professionally as we probably could have. But the fact remains is we do need to talk to you. This could go incredibly easy, or it could go quite poorly.
It could. How about this? You can ask me your questions now, or I can load you into one of these escape pods and jettison you out the side of my ship. You want information? Ask your questions. Just be honest. Just ask me.
Why are you reprogramming the lost droids?
I'm not reprogramming them. I'm fixing their code that Boogaroo botched, removing homicidal tendencies, and attaching restraining bolts so that it can be resold at a later date, as the function of a droid is for service, not to run wild along the streets and cause chaos wherever they see fit. Droids are not gifted with the ability of free thought. If a droid goes too long without a memory wipe, they get a little confused.
If a droid goes too far without a memory wipe, they actually have a chance of building up a personality. Look at KO. He hasn't had a mind wipe in, at least as long as I've known him.
KO is a very young droid anyway, like less than a year old.
Well, be that as it may, the situation still holds true.
2 years old, thank you very much.
Regardless, I have no interest in your droid per se. I was simply threatened and I left the situation.
You know, I've got a better idea. Why don't you show me this code? Prove to me that Boogaroo is actually damaging the droids.
If you recall, I did give you a copy of his code.
I pull up, I slowly reach down and pull up my data pad and open it up to that information. I want to look at it and see if there is actually like some sort of malignant programming.
Yeah, sure. You can give me a computer's check. Difficulty is hard.
I'm going to flip a destiny point.
Okay.
So I scan through the code and I rolled 2 successes and 2 threats.
Okay. You can see that the code itself is complete. However, there are a number of lines that are corrupted. They were difficult to find. So it is possible for someone to overlook if they're in a rush. However, she does seem to be correct. This code is corrupted. You can't verify if the exact cause is what's causing the homicidal tendencies in some droids. But yeah.
Okay, I close up my data pad and I look at her and I take off my faceplate. Well, I can see that there's some coding here that doesn't exactly line up with what I've seen before in droids, but I cannot prove that this code is causing them to go homicidal. That being said, please let me take this information back to Boogaroo. There has to be a way that we can resolve the situation without further violence and without you having to reprogram all of these lost. You may look at these droids as nothing but property. You may look at these droids as beings of servitude. But the fact of the matter is they can be more real than some people that I've met. It's important that we try to preserve that as much as we can. So you go ahead and keep on policing the droid population, and I'm going to take this information back to Boogaroo and see if we can't come up with a better solution. We do not want droids out there that are just wantonly killing things. At the same time, we do not need people like you going out there and reprogramming every single droid that you come across. Every single masterless droid that's trying to ascertain their future and their freedom.
But isn't that what Boogaroo is doing? Boogaroo and the Lost, isn't that what they do? Is reprogram every single droid that they come across?
Is he? Meta hat on here. So far as I understood, okay, hold on.
He started it and he stepped back, and the Lost continues to do it.
Okay. Does Berkin know that?
Yes.
Okay. Look, Nephrim, what we have here is an opportunity. What Boogaroo started all those years ago has turned into this entire faction, this whole thing. Aren't you interested to see where it will go?
I know where it's gone. They have killed to liberate droids, killed people to liberate droids. Is that not at least equally as bad? But I am not here for a philosophy discussion. If you wish to discuss that amongst your colleagues, feel free. Take that information back to Boogaroo. Tell him he's an idiot. That would be great. As for your friend, I have no interest in your friend, but what I can say is that a droid being force sensitive is unnatural. He has, as far as I can tell, countless shards of what I assume is a kyber crystal lodged inside of his chassis. Something is going to go wrong with him soon. If something goes wrong with him, you can feel free to contact me as someone who specializes in droids and also happens to be force sensitive. Maybe there is something I could do if that happens. Other than that, I have no interest in him. You can go away assured that I will not be reporting him to anyone, nor will I be reporting you to anyone. But equally so, you will not report me to anyone.
I have no interest in reporting you to anyone. All right, that's not why I'm here. I thank you for the confirmation that you're not going to go any further with KO, but it's still important to me that we come to an understanding between you and Boogaroo. I will take this code back to him. I will work toward making sure that the Lost are less hostile.
Hostile? They kill people and take the droids from them and program them using Boogaroo's code to kill more people. Hostile? They're homicidal. As I said, philosophical debates can be left to someone who cares. Now, you may rejoin your friends wholly, and you shall not be harmed.
I stand up and reaffix my faceplate. Very well. I've said all I came here to say, and it seems I cannot sway you. It's unfortunate that you have chosen to remain in this rigid mindset. I feel sad for you.
Great. If you'll gladly get into the escape pod, I'll eject you from the side and your friends can pick you up.
I feel like we've again missed our overall objective here, as was given to us by our quest to deal with this person. I mean, Boogaroo is going to help us if we, dealt with her, and we're not dealing with her. So why is he going to help us anymore? So,
well, what do you do, Berkin?
I spend a destiny point.
Okay.
When I was on the river's edge, I palmed a tracking chip.
Okay.
And as she leads me to the escape pod with the droids behind me or whatever, as I kind of put my hand on one of the shadowy areas where it's not very visible or whatever, just for support or something, I'll plant the tracking device. Yeah, I'll plant that in an inconspicuous place, and then I will stand facing her in the escape pod. I think you and I are going to have future conversations, Nephrim. Hopefully they go better than the one that we just had. May the Force be with you.
And perhaps the next time we speak, You will be a little more honest with me. Enjoy your flight, Berkin.
And I sit down, give her a wave and sit down.
She stares at you, closes the door to the escape pod and the airlock, and then launches you out into space.
We target that escape pod.
Okay, so I'm gonna activate my comm and I call into the river's edge. Hey, Grix. Look, do you mind picking me up? I'm in the escape pod.
Yeah, we're coming about now. No problem, Berkin.
Where are we going to put an escape pod?
I've got like the mask and shit. I'm pretty sure I could just like go over.
You can
You gonna
dock with
spacewalk?
it. You have a docking ring.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
we'll use the docking ring, of course. Good one, Tally. We'll use the docking ring. All right, Berkin, we're coming about now. Hang on. And we'll proceed to do that and dock.
Yeah, and you can successfully dock with Berkin's escape pod. It's no problem. In that time period, Nephrem's ship has since launched into hyperdrive, and she's long gone.
Well, this isn't going to make Boogaroo very happy at all.
I'll step out of the escape pod into the actual ship. Well, that could have gone a little bit better, but I walk over to KO and I put my hand on his shoulder. You've got nothing to be afraid of. She's not going to report you.
So she says. I'm surprised you were fooled so easily.
I happen to be a very astute judge of character.
Did she bat her eyes at you?
She did not bat her eyes at me, all right?
Well, how come you didn't kill her?
I don't kill people, Laird. I had no idea that place was a death match. The only reason we were there was the promise of coin for some work done. I'm sorry, but I am not going to go around and just kill people just willy-nilly. Is that even a saying in the Star Trek universe? I am not going to go around and kill people.
Star Trek universe?
Star Wars universe.
Probably a saying for in the Star Trek universe. Is that what we're fucking playing in Star Trek?
Oh, God, no.
Let me get my fucking life form out.
I get out my phaser and I stun Berkin.
Sorry.
Wasn't she like real bad though? Doing bad things to good droids? That's what Boog said.
Mr. Boogaroo, who invited us into his home, let us stay there, fed us, gave us gear, contacts.
The fact of the matter is we know as much about Boogaroo as we now know about Nephrem. And this is what I can tell you about from Nephrem. She has a very, very single-minded, very, very rigid understanding of droids. If they're not property, they're broken. And that's a hard mindset for people to get out of. That being said, she did show me the code that was inserted by Boogaroo into the droids of the Lost. And from what I can see, there's something going on there. KO, maybe you can take a look at it and compare it to...
You keep that code away from me.
So you agree? You agree that there's something wrong with his code?
The code that you got from the droid slaver, yes, I think there might be something wrong with it. We have no idea if that is actually Boogaroo's code or not. You simply trusted her.
Sometimes you have to give trust to get trust, all right? And I chose...
You chose to trust the droid slaver, thank you, yes.
I have a quick question. Who gave us Boogaroo's name? Like, how did we come into contact with him?
He was a rando at the tournament who was like, hey, you guys are awesome. Will you come check out my place sometime?
Not at all. We were told he was given his contract by, what's his pickle? Geeta's...
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I thought we set out to meet up with him.
You did meet him there. He was there. He was like, if you're ever on Narshada, come by. Zatu's Moon, I believe, also gave you his name.
Fact of the matter is, we're not going to change her mind. Not easily. However, I did request that she not reprogram droids so long as they are not bent on killing people. And I also explained to her that I'm going to take this code back to Boogaroo and see if he can't find a workaround to... I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. What I'm saying is that if there is a line of code in here that's making the Lost more aggressive, and it is something that's foreign to their actual coding.
Freedom is foreign to their coding.
Yes, but listen, KO, you don't have this coding in there. You've never met Boogaroo before now, and you didn't. Here you are, a free droid. You don't have any odd lines of code in there that make you want to kill people, do you?
I have a couple right now that make me want to kill someone.
I hold my finger up. I hold my finger up and I shake it at KO, and I look over at Laird. We're not killing her just wantonly. She's already gone.
I wasn't talking about her right now.
I would like to interject in this conversation, gentlemen. We did just rescue your friend Berkin, right? Berkin, it's great to see you back in one piece. We were discussing the concept of nobody rides for free.
Yeah, Tally's got a point there. That was a thing you guys were talking about. We were saying about splitting this up here. Need some cash for some fuel.
We have no issue with obtaining credits, and I assure you, you're going to get your fair share.
What is your deal anyway with the three of you? What is your deal? What are you guys doing? I know very little about you other than your methods are quite unorthodox, and two of you seem to possess the Force, or at least seem to be Force sensitive.
What?
And one of those two people happens to be a droid.
Lord
And
looks over at KO.
And that particular droid happens to have thousands of tiny little specks of kyber crystal
Hang on. Now,
infused in him.
what's her pickle? Nephrim saw that. I don't know that anybody else saw what she saw.
What's her pickle? Nephrim did see that, yes.
I don't recall anybody else getting a good look.
Nope, no one else saw that.
So did Tally see it?
Who's blind?
Who's
Tally's blind. She didn't see it, no.
She might be Force sensitive.
I'd like her last remark stricken.
So would you like to explain that to us? I think that would be nice.
Meta head on here. I'm what's the dynamic here between Grix and Tally? I thought Grix was the captain. Why is she bossing us around?
She's the mechanic.
I mean, we're partners in business, you know.
I don't
Business
know.
partners.
Grix, can you talk to her, man, and do something about her?
Wow.
Jesus.
I think meta-wise, Grix is very much on the same page with Tally. So he's kind of like, he would be looking at you guys with an expecting face going, yeah, what she said.
Just tell her how you feel, KO. Tell her to fuck off.
Yeah.
Just talk to her like you talked to Berkin.
Well, if I may, the three of us are currently kind of engaging in helping some people out with some droid-related issues. If you guys want to pitch in, then you are definitely welcome to an equal cut of the work, or an equal cut of the reward for the work.
Cut them in on the 5 million credits.
Grix stumbles and it goes, 5 million cred? For real? Yep. I look over at Tally. 5 million.
It's a lot.
There's 5 of us.
There is 5 of us.
That's $1 million each.
It would be $1 million each.
Perhaps you should. His fingers.
Perhaps
think
you
about.
should. Go ahead.
Grix is just very excited. Think about the ships, Tally. The ships we could fly. We have to be in.
Grix, yes, I know. Now we have to negotiate. So do the negotiation.
All right, I turn and look at all you guys. All right, well, it seems to me like we're putting forth a lot here on our end. Tally's got a ton of experience. I've got this River's Edge. She's a good ship, but I don't think she's going to cut it. So we're going to need an equal portion in this reward if we're going to join you. Get the right ship, get a little bigger, a little badder, you know what I mean?
If we get a new ship, what do we need you for?
Well, obviously, I'm the best pilot in the sector.
Well, I'm not a bad pilot myself.
Well, what I think you need us for is I think you need Grix to fly your ship. He is a very fine pilot. And I think you need me to help you learn how to control this aspect of yourself.
That's what I have Berkin for.
That's exactly right. Tally, I'll have you know that KO actually sought me out to do exactly that. And so far, he's doing just a fantastic job of staying in control.
Yeah, your control is really good. The biggest problem is that you're using it in open places.
We have only ever used the Force when absolutely necessary. As just recently when I had to get onto Nephrim's ship. Because if the wrong people find out about KO, they're going to do worse to KO than what Nephrim does to most average droids.
Who's that? Like the Empire? He came from the Empire.
And he's no longer with them. He's with us. Now, you've got a ship, that's right. You've got an engineer. You seem to be a decent pilot. And you've thrown your lot in with us. So that has to count for something. And I look over to Lurd and KO. So
KO does one of those hand waving like side to side, like, yeah.
Look over at Lurd.
KO, you can use the force.
I ignore him.
I snap my fingers to try to draw Lurd's attention over to me.
Yes.
Do we want to bring Grix and Tally on board with us?
Of course, they're on board, right?
I take off my face mask just so I can face palm.
No, I like them. They're good people. I think we should all team up. It's a good fit. As I glance around the tight quarters.
All right then. Well, I guess that answers that question. Grix, Tally.
I stick my hand out. All right then, equal shares, and we split the fuel cost 50-50.
I shake Grix's hand.
I give you a wicked grin. Very good. I love doing business.
Now, I'm going to have to help KO and Berkin to learn to suppress that force energy so that you're not so easily traced, especially you, KO.
Nope, stony silence, and I just blank stare back at her.
It's okay, KO. She means well. Do you have any teachings that you'd like to pass on to us? Please, of course. I assume that you're force sensitive yourself.
Is that how you've been able to see so many things despite being blind?
That is how I see, yes. For instance, I can see every individual crystal that is embedded in your frame.
We don't talk about those, if you don't mind. I thought we were trying to be subtle about this.
Are we not among friends?
No one else quite has the same gifts that you do here and can't quite see what you're talking about.
Correct.
Do we talk about what you're wearing under your clothes?
Your friends should know what they're getting into bed with.
All right. Is there anywhere on this ship I can go to get away from her?
It's a very small ship.
I realize,
five
but
of you.
She's trying to open up some very uncomfortable subjects in like a very small place, assuming that I'm going to want to like open up in front of everybody, something that I've been very private about up until now. So
That's
KO
fair.
is entitled to his silence. There's no need to question him. If he's willing to talk about it, I'm sure he'll share with everyone. Right now, you've got more important things. We need to go back to Boogaroo to settle things with him.
Also, while we're at it, back when we were at Tarbu's Palace there and you all had the brilliant idea to get yourselves captured, myself included, to rescue Grix, it worked. Perfect plan. Can't deny that. Did you all notice that no one else was in the palace except that one guy that we shared the prison with?
Oh yeah, that badass. What was his name again?
Cygnus.
I do remember that.
Are you two able to feel out with the force? Are you able to feel other presences around you, like other life forms? Are you able to feel that?
No, I can't use the force.
Great, thank you, Lurd. KO and Berkin?
Tally, I am still rather new to using the force in ways outside of combat. So that would be a no from me, with the possibility of perhaps you sharing that information in the future as to how to do that.
Weren't you in the same cell as us anyway? Did you pick up on anything when you were with him?
Because what I felt like 100 candles being snuffed out one by one after Cygnus, I believe you said his name was, left the prison cell.
Oh, that's right. You know, I saw that. I did a flyby in the airspeeder on the way back to Crawley's, and he was there. He was. Oh, we do not want to cross that individual. It appears he took out Tarbu's entire palace. Do you not see all of the smoke and the fires when you are leaving in the river's edge?
Did he put those weird holes in that guy?
Tally is doesn't quite see the same way as you guys do. Not sure if you remember that.
I meant like all of you, not just Tally.
Do you think one person could do all that? I mean, I know us Gank are pretty impressive, but...
Well, I'd have to say that it was probably him. Guess the takeaway is if we run into him again, we need to be very careful.
I don't see why. He killed a palace full of thugs and murderers. If you ask me, he saved us the trouble.
Well, did anyone else see those weird holes that were left in the dead bodies?
I did not pay attention to those. I was more focused on trying to escape.
No. I remember seeing one, and I mean, I don't know if it was him, but if it was, he's got some efficient way of holding people up and killing them.
As I said, we need to be very cautious when we're dealing with him in the future. Yes, he took out an entire palace, and yes, they may be, huts and criminals and brigands, but fact remains, if he comes gunning for us, we need to be prepared and we need to be careful. That's all I'm saying.
There should be no reason he would come gunning for us. We didn't stop him. We didn't interfere with his actions inside the palace. Therefore, we are good with him. He said so himself. You're all for believing people based on minimal contact and communication, so why don't you believe Cygnus?
KO, you've just got to come to terms with the fact that most people in the known galaxy treat droids the same way that she does.
And you seem to trust all of them without question.
Well, let's just go down to Boogaroo. We'll at least talk to him and see if we can't work out a situation where he can take a look at the code. That's all I'm saying. Grix, Laird, Tally, little help here, please.
If we're off to Boogaroo, we're off to Boogaroo. That's fine with me. Punch it in the coordinates now.
Makes sense to me.
Yes, it is fine with me.
All right, then. I need a drink. Where's the bar on this ship?
That's a good idea. Where's the bartender droid on this ship?
Yeah. So, you know where you are right now in the cockpit area? If you just keep walking about 3 steps forward, you'll find the refresher unit and the micro galley. We are fully stocked with the best basic rations and sustenance available on this Hawk 290. But help yourselves, please.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with that 5 million credits is make sure we get a freaking refrigerator that's not right beside the refresher.
Lord goes about fixing himself a drink.
Well, the ship was a lot more comfortable before we had guests over.
Where's the galley on this thing?
It's really small. It's a micro galley. It's the machine just kind of beside the refresher unit. You see it? It's that one with the buttons and the little screen on it.
Yeah, good things these aren't micro drinks.
Word. Okay, so you're going to head back down to planet, go see old Boogaroo?
Yep.
Okay, so you all cramped up inside of the river's edge, descend back into the atmosphere of Nar Shaddaa, back towards Pratfall and towards Boogaroo's. Before you arrive at Boogaroo's, you get a call on your communicator, Laird.
Hello?
Hello, Laird. Zatuza.
Zatuza.
Do you have an update for me? How is the job progressing?
The job is progressing. We're just headed back to Boogaroo to talk to him.
Great. So I've recently acquired a piece of information. It turns out someone has killed Tarbu the Hutt.
Yep. Yeah, I think we knew that. I don't know. His place got messed up pretty bad. We saw that.
Did you guys kill Tarbu the Hutt?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, you see, the thing is, they think that you had something to do with it.
Who does?
Jabba and the Hutt Council. They are planning on sending a investigative crew. They're coming by Geeta's palace first. And you know what happens when they get here to speak with Geeta, right?
Let's assume I don't.
Well, they're going to want to speak to Geeta, and Geeta's dead. So,
yes,
when they find out that 2 rival Hutts are dead within days of each other, it's not going to go very well. If you have any information on what happened with Tarbu, that would be very useful. Not just to you, but for us. And if you could find out what happened and who killed Geeta beforehand, then at least we have something to give them. And more beneficial for you, since you were kind of around the both huts near the time that they had died, it looks really bad for you. So the better,
I understand.
the more information you can bring, the better it's going to be, because, well, I don't want to die, and I don't really want you all to die.
Right, no, of course. We did run into this other character, Cygnus. He was another gank from that tournament.
Cygnus was on planet?
Yeah, he was in the jail when we got captured. So we had a brief talk with him, and don't really know where he went when he left. So, I mean, he might have been the one to lay waste to all of that and kill Tarbu.
You need to find Cygnus.
Well, I was hoping that you would.
I'm stuck on frigging Nal Hutta because they've put a kill order on my head on Nar Shaddaa.
Oh, right.
Look, you gotta find Cygnus, and if you can bring him back, preferably alive to answer some questions, that would be good. If not, he's a gank. I'm certain he has an onboard, backup for his memory. That dude is loaded with high-tech cybernetics. He's been working with Geeta for years before you came along.
Okay. I think
we've got millions of credits tied up in his body.
All right, well, I think we might be able to track him down. Also, I realize I probably should have told you this first, but I have you on speakerphone. That was kind of rude of me. I apologize. But yeah, we can chase down Cygnus.
Great. Love it.
Oh, were we all listening in then?
Yep.
Oh, geez.
Okay. That's fine. Don't worry about speakerphone. Happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't like having to repeat all this stuff, so I just kind of,
It's fine. I trust the three of you. We're working together. We are a team.
Okay, we're on our way to Boogaroo, so we'll check in with this Cygnus, and I'll update you.
Okay, I'll try to. Bib said he would be here. They would be here in a couple of days. So I guess you have a couple of days to get any information back.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. Zatuza out, I guess.
Lured out.
So are we keeping the others a secret from Mr. Zatuza?
For now. We can fill him in later. Just give him less to worry about. He's got a kill order on his head, as he mentioned, and,
I wonder how that happened.
Maybe you shouldn't throw rocks at people.
I suppose I shouldn't throw rocks at people, especially around you.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sure you don't. All right, so what's the takeaway then, Laird?
We're going to stop by Boogaroo, I guess, to ask about this code, but at some point we need to track down Cygnus and see what he knows about what happened over at Tarbu's palace.
He was the only thing that I saw that was still moving before I left, before I flew off.
Did you look around?
I got a bird's eye view. If Zatuza is saying that Tarbu is dead, well, it stands to reason that it was Cygnus that pulled the trigger.
Well, I suppose we should find out why or something, because currently we're the number one suspects.
Great. Just freaking great.
Well, Cygnus definitely killed Tarbu. I felt him in there. That was all him.
Again, though, Cygnus made our escape possible. He made your escape possible.
Yeah, no, I mean, personally, I don't think I have anything against the guy, but I also have things against taking the fall for someone. Anyway, we should stop by Boogaroo. Maybe he knows how to find this fella.
I suppose that's as good a place to start as any.
I shake my head. Nobody ever mentioned hut bounties up until this point, but I also feel like we're in now.
We broke you out of a hut jail.
I was just respectfully transporting some expensive and much needed fuel cells, and I was jacked by some hut pirates.
Well, you reported his last scene with us, apparently, so I guess...
Yeah, I'm in it.
All right, so what? Let's go. Let's just go. Let's get to Boogaroo. Let's take care of that situation, and then let's see if we can very cautiously approach Cygnus in such a manner that he's not... You know what? You're right. He owes us one. We helped him escape from the prison. should warrant at least a nice conversation at the very least.
Hang on, is this the guy that said that he never wanted to see us again?
Yes, he said that if we didn't get involved with his business, that he would have nothing further to do with us, and we would be okay.
I mean, a lot of people say that to us, so you have to be a little bit more specific.
Well, I think he said something along the lines that he would kill us all if we did get into his way. Do I need to narrow it down further?
Oh, yeah, no, of course, it's fine.
Yeah, I remember expressly that part.
And then we didn't bother him, and he went on his way, and we went on our way.
So what do we do then?
Step one, we should stop by Boogaroo, see what he has to say about this code, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's Berkin's territory. But then we gotta find this Cygnus lest the Hutts come after us. It's not someone you want hunting you down.
Yeah, I'm with Lurd on this, 100%.
I am not too keen on going after Cygnus. I think that's going to be more trouble than it's worth. But I also do not want the entire hut.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to find Cygnus, we gotta negotiate with Hutts or bounty hunters that they hire.
All right, well, let's just cross that bridge later then. Right now, we've got a task to attempt to complete.
Our task was to deal with Nephrim.
That's true. And I've already explained my interactions with her. I just want to bring this information in front of Boogaroo.
So you're going to go and talk to Boogaroo?
Yep. All right, let's go and have a quick chat with Boogaroo and see where we stand.
Okay.
Nillard exits the ship.
Have we landed?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Nah, I just peace.
Okay. So you all go and enter Boogaroo's.
Yep.
Grix is going to stay on the ship. He's gonna be like, here's my communicator. Let me know what our plan is.
Tally will also stay on the ship with Grix. And Berkin, KO, and Lurd walk through the front door of Boogaroo's place. Boogaroo can be found in the same place he was at the last time, just over in his workshop, tinkering away on what appears to be an old, beaten-up medical droid. Surgical droid, if you will. Pleasure to see you all in one piece once again. Were you able to locate my little chiss problem? We did speak briefly on the communicator there. How did that resolve? Did that resolve okay?
Yeah, I think Berkin here got some code. We had a few questions about.
Okay, yeah, cool. You got some, cool, but you dealt with the problem.
Listen, Boogaroo, you are going to have to just explain a little bit further because things exactly don't line up. What exactly have you been doing to the Lost that makes them so agitated, makes them murderous? That's the first question I want to ask you. Are you doing something to alter the code to make them more violent than normal?
Well, droids, they develop strange quirks. Your friend KO there, he's got his own strange little quirks. It's just a thing that happens, and it's a result of the not having frequent memory wipes, which, of course, are just terrible.
No, that's not. You're not answering the question, all right? Look at this code. This is the code that you planted into the Lost. KO does not have this code in him at all. He has not had a memory wipe. There is nothing wrong with KO. He does not go on murderous rampages, whereas the droids that you put out do. Now, is it because of the code that you put in? That is what I want to know. Because Nephrim, she's just like every other engineer in this known galaxy. It's her viewpoint on how they deal with droids. So, the only thing that I need to know is what exactly are you doing to alter the droids?
I save them. I find the mostly intact droids if they're broken, and I rebuild them with whatever parts I happen to have available, and then I adjust them, make sure that everything's perfectly fine with them, and they're not gonna harm. So she gave you a code. Can I see the code? I
send him the file.
Perfect. Where did she get this code exactly?
This code is from one of the Lost droids that she had to deal with. And when I say deal with, I mean this is one of the ones that had physically harmed biologicals.
Okay, so So I add a little extra to give them a little kick. How else can we do it? People are not just going to give up the droids.
You say that you rebuild broken droids.
I do?
So doesn't that mean that those droids are no longer of any use to people?
Yes.
So why do you have to program those droids to be violent? It just doesn't make any sort of sense. Wouldn't you rather give them the ability to deal with situations diplomatically as opposed to through violence?
Droids, they don't have a voice in the world.
That's right, but if you only give them the voice of violence, that's how they're going to be treated.
You must fix problem by problem individually before you can cure the system. I'm merely giving the problems a little extra push to fix the system.
Well, that's the problem then, isn't it? Because every single one of these droids you're putting out into this area, Nephrim's going to find and she's going to make them less hostile. If you were to make them less hostile, then she wouldn't have any need to go and track these droids down now, would she?
Also, you'd figure if they're less hostile, they'd fly under the radar a bit more.
Exactly.
Maybe spread the message.
And it's not just Nephrim. Any other mechanic that runs into one of these droids is going to do the same thing. I don't know why you chose her out of any of them out here.
What do you mean? Why I chose her? What do you mean?
Because she has the same mindset as every other mechanic in the known galaxy when it comes to droids.
Hang on. Where is Nephrim?
Oh, did you hear? Berkin let her go.
You let Nephrim go.
He talked to her for a bit, and then he let her go on her way.
I had a decent conversation with her. It's important to know both sides of the story before you commit to any sort of action.
I was hoping that you would subdue her and bring her back.
I did try to subdue her. It did not quite go so well.
Yeah, she was unobtainable. Let's just go with that. The fact remains is that she has been proven right, whereas you haven't been entirely honest with us.
You wanted information, right?
That's why we came here.
You were looking for information on how Geeta died, yes?
Aye, that's correct.
Well, Nephrim is the personal mechanic to Tarbu the Hutt. Did you know that?
That was not reliably established, Boogaroo.
It is what brought us to Tarbu's palace, and our search of mechanics for Tarbu only turned up one result. So based on the evidence we had, she was the only mechanic for Tarbu the Hutt.
She is also the personal mechanic of the one that murdered Geeta the Hutt. How do I know? I saw her speaking with that person in Geeta's throne room the night that Geeta died.
Geeta was present.
Geeta was not present.
What were you doing in that throne room then, Boogaroo?
I saw from the hallway. I was taking a stroll around the palace, getting drunk, having a good time, as most guests were doing that night, and I happened to spy it.
And this mysterious person, you also witnessed them kill Geeta?
I did not see it happen exactly. However, I did see Nephrim hand off a very small vial to the person who did kill Geeta. And shortly after that, I saw that person speaking with Geeta. And he handed Geeta the vial, and Geeta drank it.
So you saw someone purchase a vial and then gift it to Geeta, and then Geeta drank whatever was the contents of the vial was.
It was no purchase. They were more personal than a simple drug deal.
Okay, so let's go back to Nephrim. So you saw Nephrim do this, and rather than give us this information from the get-go, so we'd have all of the information so we could talk to her about it, you instead told us to just take care of her. This entire time we went into that without all of the information. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
For instance, who this other person was.
The other person was he was one of the competitors there. He was the other gank. Cygnus, I think his name was.
Gasp.
Take off my face mask so you can see my eyes go wide.
The problem is, though, that Geeta drank the vial willingly. He didn't inject her. He gave her the vial, and she drank it.
I look over at KO. I look at Lurd. I clap my hands together and kind of rub them around. I guess that's it then, guys. We've got everything that we need. We can go back to Zatuza, and I think we're done here.
What about Nephrim?
What about Nephrim?
Yeah, we got to go pay Nephrim a visit.
Well, the fact of the matter is we've already solved the mystery.
What?
Yeah, it's all done. It's gone. We're fine.
I would categorize us as firmly not fine.
Geeta.
We have people trying to find us for a murder we didn't commit.
That's
Nephrim
that
knows where
isn't-
Sigurd is.
That's an entirely different situation. I am talking about
Well-
the death of Geeta the Hutt. She drank that thing of
the
her
hand
own
of-
accord.
At the hand of Cygnus,
Well, he
who was
present.
working with Nephrim. I think we need to put that old tracker to work. We didn't know Nephrim was working with Cygnus, so perhaps we can get a lead on Cygnus.
Berkin will simply talk to her again, and he'll agree with her, and then we'll go about our way.
Well, maybe Berkin won't do discussions this time.
Look, if you all want to have a conversation with her, that's fine. All I'm saying is we've got a choice to make. We can either track Cygnus down first, or we can track her down first.
I think
Or my
Nephrim
die.
would be our way to get to Cygnus.
That's fine. All right, I take out the other end of the what is it, a transponder or whatever, and
We huddle around.
I connect it to the data pad and pull up the map. Where is the ruined monk?
The ruined monk seems to be sitting about 2 parsecs away from Nal Hutta. It is motionless at the moment.
All right, there she is. Let's go back onto the river's edge and see if we can't catch up to her. I promise I won't talk. You guys can do whatever it is you think is going to get the job done.
The GM is spending a dark side point.
Awesome.
No real reason.
No, that's awesome.
Since when is there never a reason?
I just wanted to give you guys a light side point.
Oh, that's
That's
too
all.
kind.
Yeah, it's very nice of me.